Hey folks, Jonathan here. All right, excuse the wind. So working on a 1956 Studebaker 56J, which makes it the Golden Hawk with the Packard engine. Some of you remember I've rebuilt the engine. Well, done what I call an in-frame with the, put some new valves in it, 2 pistons, rings, went through it. Runs real good. Had to pull the carburetor back off and clean it because I was having some idle issues. Put a gas tank on it, and because I don't always make the best decisions, I probably shouldn't have, because it wasn't that bad after I took it off. I was having some issues with when the RPMs got to a certain, it just drops off. You know, it won't rev like it should when you're going down the road. It does when you just rev it, but I mean when you're going down the road and you get into it, it falls on its face, and it's like a fuel issue, not getting enough fuel. So anyway, I did redo some of the lines on it. It had a line that was pretty twisted up where it hooks into the tank, and I redone the line going into the tank. Well, that was the one. And anyway, so car's not the most solid, best car in the world, but it was pretty rough when I got it. I've welded floors in it, and one of the main reasons I gave up, well, didn't give up, quit on it, put it to the side for a while, I was having some issues with the interior. Bought the carpet. It was supposed to be molded. It wasn't. It's sewn together carpet. It looks like crap. Still looks like crap. And I redone the seats, and these are pretty complicated seats to do, and I wasn't happy with my work, and I'm still not happy with it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to get this finished up. This has to be stretched yet and done. Done the bottoms on the back, and you can see how dirty it is. This thing's been sitting around for a few years. So anyway, got it back running. Started doing some wheel changing on it. It had Mazda rims on it off of a Mazda truck. I put these that I bought at an auction. They're ETs. There's a history on this style rim. The guy that invented them, started them. He's the one that actually invented the Unilug and some of the 2-piece wheels and stuff, and he was actually a shop teacher. And when he started doing this, and I think it was like 1960 something, 4, 7, something like that. Anyway, so body's pretty rough on this car, but that's okay. I'm not going to do any body work. I was just going to straighten a few things out. We're going to clean it up. I do have the rockers to weld on it. I've welded all new floors in it. Some of you may remember that. Noah helped me weld some of the rear floors in. That's where he was getting some practice welding. Still got to do the exhaust. I got downpipes, no exhaust back. Got to work on the overdrive. Finally found another tail light. Actually bought 2 of them just so I'd have an extra lens, because they're so hard to get. They're 1 year only. And the bumpers, of course, they're rusty and shot. And we did, like I said, get the 2 wheels on, and I wanted to get them on, make sure they're going to clear before I ordered tires. So I got to get new tires. The brakes have all been done, and let me see. I think that's about it. I think it'll work out okay. Just didn't like them Mazda rims on it. I just couldn't stand it. I've got some of the trim that goes on it and stuff, but like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about that. It'll probably end up getting, I'll drive it a little while and then probably sell it to somebody that wants to finish it up. And I just want to put it on the road. Have not got the overdrive working yet. Haven't even checked it out to see what's wrong with it. It's pretty simple to work on. It's just got it's got a switch here and relays, and so it's got a governor that kicks the overdrive out at I think 25 mile an hour. They made 2 different overdrives. They made a well, they're both Borg Warner, but one's a light overdrive, one's a heavier overdrive. They got numbers for them, but I don't remember what they are. But this has got the bigger overdrive. The other Studebaker, the 51 bullet nose I got with the 6-cylinder 170, has got the smaller overdrive. And these cars with automatics were not nearly as fast as what they are with the 3-speed overdrive. Now, 0 to 60 and quarter mile, this was the fastest car built in 1956 stock. Now, top speed, I think the Chrysler 300 beat it by like a 1 or 2 mile an hour. But besides that, that's it. And pretty quick car. It'll throw you back in the seat. It'll surprise you. But I've got to get these seats done. I'll show you where we're at on that. All right, back in this box truck. I think this thing's about 16 foot long. Anyway, I set this up as an upholstery room years back, or a few years back. Most of you remember. I've got this old Singer sewing machine. I think it's like a 1936. It's a walking needle. Not a walking foot, but a walking needle. As you can see, I'm getting ready to sew lines in this, the pleats in it. This is one, as you can see, it's dusty and dirty, but this is the last one that I've done. I can't find any patterns for the other seat, so I've got to make them reversed off this, and here it is. There's my Roadster stuff. The car's getting painted, so I've got all the interior out of the Roadster. And I've got, let me see, I've got some more stuff here. I've got some stuff here that's for other vehicles that I'm waiting on a seat to come back from a friend of mine. Yeah, anyway. Oh, there's the bottom. I got to do this bottom. I've got the back done, but he took the back to do some sizing, and he just needs to bring it back because I don't remember what I used around the sides. I've got the bottom of it, but whenever he's ready anyway. So, got to do this one and try to make it look like this one. Not happy with a lot of stuff. It was mainly, you know, I thought, and I done this when I was 15 years old, but I thought that, well, what we can do is just take the old cover off, make exact patterns, put it back together, and it's going to look exactly like it should look. And that sounds like it makes sense, but when you do it in actual reality and your foam is not factory the same size and stuff, and you know your foam's tore up, so you're not, you know, you don't know what you even had under some of this stuff. As you can see, you know how rough that some of this stuff is. It don't want to fit back on right. So, you know, it's kind of aggravating. And then the other issue is if you don't do them all the same, then it don't look right. And that happens on these particular seats. And I don't know how many times I've sewn up this other seat and tore it back apart. And it might have been this one that I sewn up and tore apart and I just got disgusted with. But I was getting really disgusted with the whole situation, and I just quit. And it's a shame because I can't drive the darn car without the seat in it. So instead of putting an aftermarket seat or something, you know, like bucket seats or something like that in it, I want to go ahead and get this done. So I haven't sewed anything in quite a while. It's been probably a couple years, I guess, or close to it. But I want to go ahead and get this sewn up where I can drive this car. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I won't bore you with it, but I'll show you what I get done and how bad it comes out. And you know, I'm not perfect. This old seat here, I done it. You see, it's been, well, it's been bent around and stuff. But I mean, I've drove this car a lot, so I probably need to redo the bottom of it, or at least redo the foam under it. I think what happened is there's two pieces of foam here. It splits in the center. There's one piece on this side, one on this side, and it's kind of got confused there in the center, but the back's really still good. And these were never seats. This is just made out of boards, something I put together for that Roadster. And anyway, so when it comes back from paint, we're going to go through and clean everything really good, detail it, put all the interior back in, get it all done. And I've got a new set of tires for it, and I'm going to go ahead and order a brand new set of rims for it and make it into a nice car. And which I don't have too many nice cars. Most, you know, the El Camino's a nice shiny painted car. Besides that, well, my wife's got the SSR, but most of my stuff is always rusty. And some people, I don't know, it's like they take offense to you driving stuff like that, especially the cruise-ins and car shows. But I really don't care. I'm sure some of you have seen my cruise-ins, and my cruise-ins allow anybody to bring anything they want to bring. They can ride a lawnmower, and we've had a lawnmower there before, riding lawnmower. But the point is if we're going to make it where you got to have a $30,000-$40,000 car, then the people, my friends, they're not going to come because I've got a lot of friends that can't afford it, and I totally understand it. So anything they drive, anything they can bring, and I've had some complaints about somebody parking next to somebody else and they were driving a Ford Ranger. Well, it's his Ford Ranger. He's proud of it. It's an early 90s and it's a really clean, nice Ford Ranger. and you know, the man's proud of the car, so what? So I'll quit rambling. But anyway, okay folks, here's what we've got so far. I'm gonna do one more leg of this and we'll get a width measurement, and let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Oh, like this. But now this is just slid over. I've still got to take it off and put some padding in and stuff, but that's basically what it looks like. You can see how dirty it is from sitting. I cleaned it up a little bit, just using this one to get measurements off of. What we'll do next will be the width, and then we'll do the ends and sew them on, and hopefully it'll work. We'll see. I don't know. I think I got a bottom piece to do also across it, but it ain't much to it. It's like a flap. So alright, so we're gonna keep at it, keep sewing, and we'll see what we can get done here. Alright folks, here you go. Been in and out all day towing. It's about almost 10 o'clock at night. I'm out here trying to finish up, and I about got it done. The cover's done, so we're gonna, tomorrow we'll put the foam on the seat and see what we can do about sliding it down over it and getting it right, stretching it out, and it might work all right. Hopefully it will. Like I said, I'm had it with this job. This is final for me. We're going to get this done and get it where I can drive that car. I want to drive it pretty bad and hadn't got to, so you know, we'll go from there. But I mean, the car's not worth anything not sit, you know, just sitting and not driving. And at least if I can get it driving and going, maybe somebody will want to finish it up and restore it like it should be. So anyway, all right. Okay folks, finished up the front section of the seats on this thing. I mean, it's okay. I'm not happy. You can see wrinkles in the corners, and so I can pack some more in it, but for now, I mean, it's drivable. These rims look pretty good on this car. They're not period correct for 1956, but they are early, you know, the 60s and 70s. And then put a set of radials on it. I've already gotten some flack because I didn't run white walls on it, which, you know, I guess these Golden Hawks must have came with white walls, or most of them did. But anyway, so it rides good with them, drives good with them. Been working on the engine. Done the points today, rotor button, distributor cap, ballast resistor, and I think I've still got some wiring issues that I'm trying to get worked out. I don't have the generator's not tight enough. Let me see, I think my water pump, I just noticed my water pump sitting here leaking, which is not good. Hopefully I can find one for it. And I don't think this is an original water pump. I think this is let me see, this might be for a Packard or something, because I had to change the pulley when I got it because it wasn't on it, but I'll figure that out. That's not a big issue. Probably got a casting number on. So the belt's too long and stretched for the generator. I really want to run the generator and the original voltage regulator if I can, if it's good. Easy to wire them up. It's not an issue whatsoever. Now, it's good. This thing's got dual points in it, and still having some busting out problems, but I decided to try something and it worked pretty well. I actually wired straight to the ballast resistor, which a ballast resistor cuts your voltage in half going to your coil, but I wired to the 12 volt side of it and put it on the battery for positive. So basically I hot wired it and ran it down the road, and it done a lot better. So it wasn't busting, wasn't having, so I think I've got a wire issue going to it. So we'll get that figured out. Still got some rust down low in this thing that is messing with our hood latch. So you see I got a bungee cord, I was holding it down. This thing will really set you back in the seat. It will surprise you. Of course, this is the 3-speed with overdrive. The torque on is 380 foot-pounds. Horsepower is 275. And like I said, that's stock. Now, I'm working on the air cleaner. I've got it off right now. Air cleaners, the engine was so tall, the air cleaner goes off to the side and down. It's an oil bath. And I'm cleaning it up and trying to get it finished. And we've got a few more things to wire on it. I did replace these because there was one missing, and I needed one, so I bought two, but they're used. They're not perfect, but they're pretty darn nice. And you know, this thing will never be perfect anyway. I cannot find my battery box. I bought an original battery tray that is in really good shape. I can't find it. I'm going to have to find it because it's going to need one, or I'm going to have to build one. So anyway, I've got to do the rockers on this thing. I've got 2 new rockers for it. I haven't done yet. Like I said, I've done the floors. So if I get the rockers on, then I can put the sill plates on. I do have the rocker off the other side. Have not put it back on yet, and we're putting the new one on. Got some more grinding and stuff, cleaning up to do, and I want to use some rust converter on everything before I, put the rockers over the rust. And as you can see, my seat's all dirty, and I'm just not happy with it. It really, I need to take the bottom back out and do some more packing in it, get some more foam in there. Not my specialty, doing interiors. Now the back seats, they're dirty as can be, but yeah, they come out really good. I didn't do the back because it was, it didn't look too bad, but I mean, it needs done. But I did do the bottoms. Like I said, they're dirty because everything's falling down from the headliner. And I've been driving it a little bit here, working on it. So anyway, so I just want to show you where I was on that. And then this one. So I can't really drive this much because of the windows. As you can see, they are terrible, including the windshield. Now this is the car that sit in the barn until it was wrecked in 1971, and it sat in the barn until about 2 years ago. I think I pulled it out. Anyway, I think and it might have been a little bit longer than that. But anyway, I wanted to drive this out of that barn because I was born in 71, but things didn't work out like I wanted. Jack, the guy that owned it, passed away, and I ended up buying it later on, much later on from the family. So anyway, still got the 1971 tags, 71 right here. And that was the tags that was on it when his son wrecked it. Now Jack was in Vietnam and cleaning up the mess, I guess, and his son wrecked it, and I guess he told him just put it in the barn. So he drove it into the barn and didn't do anything with it after that. It just sat there, and the interior is terrible in it, but it does have the peace emblem on it. I don't know if his son was riding around with that on there because of the war or what, but anyway, so a lot of you might have seen me pull the frame on this one and fix this rear because it was smashed in pretty hard, and I haven't done any work to it since then. Getting ready to do them windows, do some floor work, and do some interior work in this one. And I've got all the glass, as you can see in there. Got all new wing glass, side windows, door glass. I got the rubber for the windshield. The only thing I couldn't get was, of course, they didn't offer the back glass. Now there's nothing wrong with the back glass. It's the only glass that's good, but I needed the rubber for it, but I don't have it, so we'll have to figure out something on that. These are roll downs, and I'll do a video on putting them in, and then we're going to do a headliner on this, and I'm going to measure the headliner out and sew the headliner up. We're not going to order one and go from there with it. And I'm not using this seat because we've got an issue with the seat. When it wrecked, it broke the seat back, and I cannot get it to, it's not sitting right. It's like the front of the seat's too high, and it's not a comfortable ride at all. So I've got another seat for it. And I had to get one from a two-door because they lean up. And so if you want to see some interior work, I'm going to be working on this. And let me give you a little better shot of the 39. We done all the brakes on this one. Bree, what are you doing? Laying in a hole? So we done all the brakes on this one. I've got to repaint the stripe on that rim, or repaint the rim, repaint the stripe, because I painted a stripe, and then I got in the car and drove it, and it slung the stripe out, which wasn't smart, but I've done dumber stuff. This one's done. I just got to get the hubcap and the beauty ring on, clean these white walls up a little bit, but she's dirty from sitting, and you can see most of the paint's missing on this car, but it's not rusting, it's just missing. I don't know. So it's going to need stripped down and something put on it here soon. But like I said, we'll get the windows in it, and I might have some more surprises for this one, but we'll see. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.